Shalom Yasharallah, peace be to the nation of Israel, whom are the modern day so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, and speckled Israelites being Israelite foreigners scattered across the four corners of the earth, including within America. Babylon the Great, the main place for captivity, and we are the Most High Yahweh's chosen people of the nation of Israel. So without further ado, as always, in the Paleo Hebrew, otherwise known as ancient Hebrew, we give all praises, glory, infinite honor to my power, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, whom is the God of the living, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Barach, Barash, which is our praise to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, and Holy Spirit, who is our strength and our Redeemer, and our light and our salvation. In the same tongue, I'm Adam Mashina, Kabwadim, Lahashakwanium, Shal Gadawakab, many double honors to the apostles, and elder bishops, a great millstone, the men of One West, whose labors we've entered into. And Shalom, honor, salutations to Bayash Shadawadah, the house of David, along with the rest of one-third elected men, women, and children of Israel. All right. So, fellow servant Malak Rayah is back at it again. Another epistle. This time within another walk and talk edition. The first one in a while. So Salaki for the background noise, but just wanted to go ahead and bring out this report of Russia, a Russian weapons depot being attacked in Russia, reported a little under 24 hours ago on behalf of NATO through the Ukraine proxies. As we know, for those who actually understands the regulations of war, all right, including these proxy wars, it's apparent that Esau Edom is using Ukraine as a proxy to antagonize Russia, okay, and to retaliating so they can justify provoking a full-fledged war. All right. So it says, this is on the U.S. Civil Defense News platform, and it says, NATO declares war on Russia by launching long-range weapons at Russian territory. NATO hit Russian weapons depot with a cruise missile launched from Ukraine. Major escalation about to kick off. Now, of course, you got Esau Edom, all right, to put a disclaimer, okay, here in the little reader's caption, suggesting that it wasn't NATO, because he has no other choice but to say that, because he's been exposed. Now, what further confirms that it was NATO, okay, that was behind this attack. You know, despite the fact that it was reported that this attack was launched from Ukraine, was the talks between the Russian Federation and these and the U.S. and NATO. Okay, as it says here, says Russia has publicly announced to the world at the United Nations Security Council that any NATO missiles striking Russian territory will be a formal declaration of war. It says the Russian Federation will officially be at war with NATO and the United States when the first precision munition detonates. You can guess what comes next. And this is why here, within this report, it says NATO approves attacks on Russia. Commanding General of NATO's Military Committee states long-range attacks on Russia with NATO missiles is fully justified. The next phase of the war in Europe is about to begin. So that further confirms that, these devils through the NATO military machine of America behind this attack from Ukraine, as it was declared about 15 hours ago. Okay, in which attack came shortly after, Putin declared that there would be no winners in this nuclear war, as he further reiterated back in 2017. Okay, regarding the information in this article here, he said nobody would survive U.S.-Russia hot war. All right, so I'm going to grab this first precept, and I'm going to play a quick couple of minutes of a quick clip, and bring out a few more precepts on the subject of this last world's war, just to further sound a trumpet for our people, man. As it says in Joel 2:1, because this is not a time to be playing around, man. It's not a time to be immersed in folly and mirth, as it's prophesied to be diminished, to have been diminished in Hosea 2:11. So this is Revelation chapter 11, verse 14. And it reads, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe coming quickly. The word woe meaning war or destruction. All right. And because this last world's war is a further indication that Yahweh Shai, the Messiah, is returning. Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. This is Zephaniah 1:14. It says, the great day of the Lord, Yahweh by Shem Shai, is near, it is near, and hasteth greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord, Yahweh by Shem Shai. The mighty man shall cry there bitterly. All right. So you're going to have, Esau's military militia, okay, waging war against the angels of the spiritual realm, okay, which is the army or militia of the spiritual realm in this war of the worlds, as prophesied in or the war of the realms, pursuing the second Ezra, the 13th chapter, okay, in Revelation, the 12th chapter, going to that war in heaven, okay. Like it says in Isaiah 9:5, all right? The battle, matter of fact, let me grab it real quick. Isaiah 9:5. And it reads, for every battle of the warriors with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire, all right? Because in the time of, in the ancient time, when men would go to war, it would be like a strange sound, okay? Including shields, the sound of swords, clinking or clacking, okay, colliding, okay, swords with shields, swords against shields, and shields against shields, and so forth. And even in the so-called medieval times, there would be sounds of catapults being shot off. So at the time, it was like a confusing sound. Case in point, okay. This time would be no different. The only difference is, within these mighty men crying bitterly within this last world's war, is going to be due to the anguish and the distress that they're going to, and the high levels of anxiety they're going to experience in the midst of this last world's war. It's going to be a nuclear war. All right. So I'm going to go back to Zephaniah 1:15, and it reads, that day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. Okay, the darkness is going into death. Okay, death and despair amongst the wicked, upon the wicked. All right, including the men of the armies of the heathen that will indulge in this last world's war, including all 6 branches of the U.S. military and their NATO allies. That stands with them. Zephaniah 1:16, a day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers, and the fenced cities and high towers of those lofty, okay, of that loftiness of America, okay, on behalf of Esau, Edom, okay, and this is how UW is going to be brought down low, very low, okay, in the midst of this last world's war. Yahweh Shai and the angels are going to intervene and destroy all those who remain. All right, so go ahead and bring out this, see if I'll bring out another precept. Yeah, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and play a couple of minutes from this clip. All right, further, going into, this recent attack on Russia from NATO. All right.
Смотри, иди сюда. Офигеть, Видели эту волну? Просто жесть.
Дом наш стоит. Все, Олег, нормально, дом стоит. Вон, я вижу его. Видишь?
Дом жив еще?
Да.
This is WW3. And what you guys are looking at is a massive mushroom cloud that came from the strike that took place overnight from Ukraine in Russian territory using drones it triggered the massive explosion and the after explosions that you've seen in those clips. This is a good bit into Russia, and you can guarantee that Russia's going to see that this is a NATO strike or a Western-backed strike after all this. This is a very important site. This is a Russian weapon stockpile. And some are saying, is there some nuclear in there? Because the mushroom cloud that was emanating from this, that you can see here on the left, this is eerily similar to what we've been waiting for in this region. Because the Chinese, when they put their rover in space, in the background on their image, there was a mushroom cloud on Earth, and it made no sense. And when you looked into exactly where this came from, it's in this region, somewhere between Moscow, Ukraine, roughly, right in that area where the war is going down. This mushroom cloud emanates from off this image for no reason. I have multiple videos on my channel. If you type in mushroom cloud, Ukraine, covering this, one's got like over 500,000 views. So we've had our eyes on this for about a decade, and now we have a mushroom cloud popping up in this exact area. What this tells me, though, is that they're going to strike back, and they're going to strike back hard. America's about to get caught slipping and sleeping if they don't pay attention.
So I'm ended off on that, man. You know, I'm going to segue over to Isaiah. Like you said, America's going to get caught slipping and sleeping, and vice versa. Okay, because majority of people in America, Babylon the Great, are not paying attention, especially during this stupid ass NFL football season just started, man. Another time of distraction of bread and circuses, man. Okay, like William Cooper had went into, how these devils, okay, use these bread and circus events and similar distractions as psyops. Okay, in this case, rather distractions. Okay, of these within these psyops and so forth. Okay, this is Isaiah 13 and 3. It says, I have commanded my sanctified ones. I have also called my mighty ones for mine anger, even them that rejoice in my highness. So the angels will get involved in this last world's war. Verse 4, the noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord Yahweh of hosts mustered the host of the battle. Okay, because the Heavenly Father is the man of war. Okay, so this war, this last world's war, prophesied in the scriptures, is of the intents of the Lord's heart, of Yahweh by Shemashah's heart, to be fulfilled. And that includes the destruction of the adversaries, his adversaries and adversaries of Israel, and the redemption of the curses of Israel. Isaiah 13 and 5. They come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord Yahweh, and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. Howl ye, for the day of the Lord Yahweh by Shemashah is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt. And they shall be afraid, pangs and sorrows shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flames. Or meaning these people are these men, okay, the heathen, okay, these soldiers, okay, of the heathen involved in this war, okay, can be burnt up. Okay, this is prophesied in 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter, similar precepts. All right. So with that, I'm gonna jump over to jump down to verse 15, and it says, "Everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined to them shall fall by the sword." So everyone fighting in Esau's military, within the 6 branches of the military, can be completely annihilated. Okay, in the midst of this last world's war. Okay, and all those who don't get annihilated within adversaries of America. Okay, from the soldiers of the heathen. Okay, of the other heathen nations. Okay, mainly on behalf of BRICS and so forth. Okay, will be destroyed by Yahweh Shai and the angels. All right, for fighting on behalf of Esau's beast system. This is Isaiah 13 and 16. Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled and their wives ravished. You know, so just like in the movie Red Dawn, we had the Russians invade America. that's going to happen, man. That's essentially going to happen, but it's really going to happen on behalf of these ICBM missile warheads. Okay. Case in point. And even these United Nations troops. Okay. All right. That don't speak English. Okay. Because which would include Russians. Well, this would include Russians for the fact that it's already been revealed a few years ago that Esau has allowed Russian troops in American territory. Okay. Case in point. Because Russia is a World Economic Forum partner along with China. So they're really in bed with America, Babylon the Great, but they're still at odds with each other. That goes into another reason why in Psalm the 2nd chapter says, "Why do the heathen rage and imagine a vain thing?" So these troops, these foreign troops, are going to be ransacking homes of American homes, okay, and having their way with their anyone not covered by the mark of exemption of the Lord in those homes, man, including women and children. And we're seeing further omens of this in these last days. Case in point. Okay. Women being abducted, women being raped, and put to death, like that stripper Eve down there in Indianapolis. Okay, being raped and put to death. The other Eve, okay, I believe was down there in Norfolk County, got severed and put in a suitcase. All kinds of wickedness, okay, and evil is happening to the inhabitants of the earth. Okay, because they walk in great pride and they don't fear the Lord Yahweh by Shem Shai. So these people are going to be given over to the snares of death on behalf of Yahweh by Shem Shai's indignation, man. This is Isaiah 13:17. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and those bows, all right, are those proverbial bows or arrows, those nukes. Okay. It says, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children. All right. This is Ezekiel 38:10. And it says, thus said the Lord Yahweh, it shall also come to pass that at the same time shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought. All right. So an evil thought is entered into the minds of the modern day king of the Medes, man, which is why Putin said what he said here. So I'll go ahead and play this clip. You can go ahead and read the caption.
Я хочу еще раз все-таки подчеркнуть. Я говорил, но мне очень бы хотелось, чтобы вы меня услышали все-таки в конце концов. И донесли это до своих читателей, зрителей и пользователей в интернете. Но вы понимаете или нет, что если Украина будет в НАТО и военным путем будет возвращать себе Крым, европейские страны автоматически будут втянуты в военный конфликт с Россией. Конечно, потенциал объединенной организации НАТО и России несопоставим, мы понимаем. Но мы также понимаем, что Россия одна из ведущих ядерных держав, и по некоторым компонентам по современности даже многих опережает. Победителей не будет. И вы окажетесь втянутыми в этот конфликт помимо своей воли. Вы даже не успеете глазом моргнуть, когда будете исполнять пункт 5 Римского договора. Господин президент, конечно, не хочет этого развития, и я не хочу. И я не хочу. Поэтому здесь...
Of course, war is horrible.
Я хочу еще раз все-таки подчеркнуть это. Я говорил, но мне очень бы хотелось, чтобы вы меня услышали все-таки в конце концов. И донесли это до своих читателей, зрителей и пользователей в интернете. Но вы понимаете или нет, что если Украина будет в НАТО и военным путем будет возвращать себе Крым, европейские страны автоматически будут втянуты в военный конфликт с Россией. Конечно, потенциал объединенной организации НАТО и России несопоставим. Но мы также понимаем, что Россия одна из ведущих ядерных держав, по некоторым компонентам.
So he's saying, within the midst of these nuclear powers going at it, mainly on behalf of America, NATO, and the Russian Federation and the BRICS Union, there's not going to be any winners. Now, he's an Edomite, he's carnal-minded, but he's actually in his right mind, okay? In terms of that declaration, okay? Because the only ones that are going to survive are going to be the elect, okay, in this thermonuclear onslaught. That will be beamed up within the twinkle of an eye, or even if they don't get beamed up, if it was in their lot to be put to death, then the dead in Yahushua is going to rise first, as prophesied in 1 Thessalonians, the 4th chapter. Okay, so he mentioned if NATO, okay, attempts to, reacquire or in this case annex Crimea, down there, all right, within that particular region around the Ukraine, then you know what I'm saying, especially by way of the means of which they're talking about, okay, then that's going to cause for declaration of war. Now that leads me to this article. It says Putin says nobody will survive U.S.-Russia hot war. It says Russian President Vladimir Putin says in a documentary set to air on U.S. television that nobody would survive a war between the nuclear-armed countries. Putin made the comments to Hollywood director Oliver Stone during a series of interviews for the film in which the Russian leader appears to be given ample room to vent long-held grievances against the United States. Jumping down to the point, says U.S.-Russian ties created in the wake of Moscow's 2014 seizure of Ukraine's Crimean Peninsula and backing of separatists in eastern Ukraine. The United States and the European Union slapped sanctions on Moscow over the land grab, and NATO has bolstered its defenses in its easternmost member states in what it calls a defensive move in response to Russian aggression. So Esau in America is always playing the victim role, always playing the defensive role. Okay, but they were the ones that provoked this coup back in 2014 against Russia. And another reason why Russia annexed Crimea is to further prevent Esau on behalf of America and NATO from expanding further eastward into American territory, Russian territory rather, Slovakia. And that goes against the agreement that Russia and America had, okay, in the early to mid 90s, shortly after the Cold War, okay, that NATO would not, America through NATO would not expand into eastward into Russian territory, and they've done exactly that within the span of these last few decades, man. So now that leads back to Putin's most recent speech, where he said if NATO tries to annex Crimea away from them by way of the means in which they're reportedly looking to do, then that's going to be a further declaration of war. Okay, and now, right after that speech, they doubled down on their threats, man. Okay, they doubled down on what they were talking about doing, man. Just like they reneged on that deal of not expanding eastward into Russian territory, and they've done exactly that. And this Ukraine proxy war, okay, that started back in 2014 and really catapulted in 2022 is a further fulfillment of the wicked elite international crime banking family's plans to provoke this war, man, to further justify, waging war with Russia and bringing death and chaos to the world as a part of their Hegelian dialectic, so they can present a solution. Okay. So you can read the rest of this, but that's pretty much the point. So back in Ezekiel 38:11, it says, "And thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. I will go to them that are at rest, yet dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls and having neither bars nor gates." Those lines up with Jeremiah the 49th chapter, man. And I have that wealthy nation, okay? Let this truck pass by. You know, that goes into Jeremiah, ties into Jeremiah the 49th chapter. It says, how the wealthy nation will be without bars, meaning what? It will be without protection. Okay, like the elder brother, the Mahaloya, the priest Mahaloya down there in KC was going into the example of driving to a town that's nearby, and all you just see is welcome to such and such town, but there's really no borders in between those towns like that. The only borders that there are is between, separating America, you know what I'm saying, from Mexico and such. Okay. But even with that, through Esau's open border policies, they're allowing foreign nationals and mercenaries and sleeper cell agents across the border, along with criminals, okay, to cross the border. All a part of his Hegelian dialectic, man. All right. This is Ezekiel 38:12. To take a spoil and to take a prey, to turn thine hand upon the desolate places that are now inhabited, and upon the people that are gathered out of the nations, which have gotten cattle and goods, that dwell in the midst of the land. So, you know, Russia is, like it says in St. Mark, the 3rd chapter. Oh, matter of fact, we're going to grab that through the Spirit. Call like how about Shai. St. Mark, chapter 3. Let's see where I'm going to start at. I think it's 27. It says, no man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he will first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his house. And that's exactly what Russia's going to do. They're going to spoil the strong. They're going to bind the strong man. Who's the strong man right now? The king of Babylon, Esau, Edom of America. Okay? Ruling the world through essential banking systems, IMF, and military-industrial complex, and intelligence agencies. But now he has competition. Okay, because those once a part of his house are waging war against him. And who's compromised their relationship? America. Esau through America and NATO. Because America and Russia were once allies, man. A part of the Allied powers. Okay, in World War II. Okay, fighting against Germany, Japan, and fascist Italy. But now Russia is turned on America. Why? Because Esau through America have been further sought out, and exposed as truce breakers. Okay, so this is why, their house is being divided. Their house has been divided. It says in the 23rd to the 24th verse. Okay, I'm going to read that. Verse 23, and he called them unto him and said unto them in parables, how can Shaitan cast out Shaitan? And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And this is why America cannot stand, man. All right, because she is burned so many goddamn bridges, even though those of her allies, her closest of allies, especially those of her house, her Edomite house, okay, in a present day sense, to a point to where, there's not going to be any protection left in America, Babylon the Great. You know what I'm saying? This is prophesied in Ezekiel 38 and 11, Jeremiah 49, verse 31 on down to 32. Okay? Case in point. So this is, let me go ahead and let's see where I'm getting. I'm going to grab Isaiah. Isaiah, back in Isaiah 13. Isaiah 13 and 19. And it reads, and Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when the Most High, Yahweh, overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay? So, the glory of kingdoms, says in America, Babylon the Great, the virgin out of Babylon, is going to be overthrown. Okay? Just like ancient Sodom and Gomorrah, through the element of fire and brimstone. Okay? In the midst of this last world's war. All right? Specifically. And that's why in 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter, mentions how, Yahweh Shai is going to, once Yahushua brings that fire from the chariot, okay, from the vehicle that, of the vehicles that Esau Edom had deceitfully declassified as UFOs and UAPs, when that dust settles in the midst of this last world's war, that's when the elect are going to be taken back to Jerusalem, man. So for the sake of time, I'm going to jump down to 2nd Ezra 13 and 6. It says, but I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon him. That's Yahweh Shai. But I would have seen a region or place where out the hill was graven, and I could not. All right. It says, because the chariot, when our forefather Ezra looked up to the firmament, okay, he didn't really see an end of the chariot. That's how big it was. That's how massive it was. Okay. And that's that mountain in Isaiah the 64th chapter that you devils gonna have to fight. Got to fight against, man. Verse 8 says, and after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid, and yet durst fight. And that's the armies of the heathen, including the 6 branches of the Edomite military and NATO. Okay, those who stands with them. This is verse 9. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempest. Okay? And that's that concentrated heat that Yahushua is going to release out of the fathership. Verse 11, and they were all mixed together. It says, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon a multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust. All right, so like only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. That's the only thing that's going to be left after Yahushua, unleashes that holy fire from the chariot, the fathership of all chariots, upon the armies of the heathen, in this war in heaven, prophesied in Revelation 12. 2 Ezra 13 and 12 says, Afterward saw I the same man come down from the mountain, and calling to him another peaceable multitude. Okay, so after Yahushua brings that destruction, okay, he's gonna call up that peaceable multitude, the elect, prophesied in Revelation, the 14th chapter. Verse 13 here says, and there came much people unto him, whereof some were glad, some were sorry, and some of them were bound, and others some brought of them that were offered. Then I was sick through great fear, and I awaked and said, and this also ties into Psalm 149, verses 5 to 8, how the gates of the kings of the nobles, the nobility of Edom, okay, are going to be bound with chains, fetters of iron. The rulers of the darkness of this world, all right, the wicked elite international crime banking families, going to be hiding underground like cowards, okay, in the underground bunkers, prophesied in Revelation, the 6th chapter, hiding from the midst of this last world's war because they know it's coming, because they know the prophecies, man, okay. 2 Ezra 13 and 14, thou hast shewed thy servant these wonders from the beginning, and it has counted me worthy that thou shouldest receive my prayer. Shew me now yet the interpretation of this dream, for as I conceive in mine understanding, woe unto them that shall be left in those days, and much more woe unto them that are not left behind. Okay, so much woe or war to them that are not left behind, meaning those that are part of the first fruits of slavery are going to be in great fear, because they're going to know what their future entails, and that's egregious, grueling captivity and servitude of 1,000 years. Okay, pertaining to the Edomite nation before they're eradicated completely, pursuant to Obadiah verse 18, Isaiah 24, 22, other precepts, man, So, you devils have you bit off more than you can chew, and you're gonna come to the realization that all your vain efforts of a part of your NWO agenda is going to fail you, okay? And after your armies are destroyed, you're going into slavery, man. You're going into captivity for 1,000 years before you're eradicated, where the entire world will rejoice over your destruction. This is prophesied in Ezekiel, the 35th chapter, all right? And Isaiah, the 14th chapter. So with that, Adon Ratazah, this epistle is for the edifying, exhorting to elect, and give all praises, glory, and infinite honor to my power, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who is the God of the living, Yahweh, Bah Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barach Barash, bless me with the spirit through this video. All right, and with that, double honors to the apostles, elder bishops, great millstone once again, and shalom, honor, and salutation to Bayashid Awadah, along with the rest of the 1/3 elected men, women, and children of Israel. All right, shalom, labachayim, and on to the next one.